Bloodline Sports. Anything and everything sports talk between family. After all, it's all relative. Well, the sports world is in full-blown playoff mode, and we will be discussing that today. We hope you enjoy our show, as we are going to enjoy bringing it to you. And as always, I am the Juice, and next to me is my partner,
The DOS Man.
the DOS Man. All right, got some interesting things to talk about today. We'll be talking about some playoffs, and another note, which we will discuss as we get into this.
Yep.
But a very exciting week has started, and the sports world is full-blown playoff mode.
Yep.
What do you think about that, man?
Oh, yeah, I'm excited. At least just the NBA and the NHL are.
Yep. So the NBA and the NHL are both on playoff mode, so we'll go ahead and start with this. Let's go. NHL playoffs. It's your favorite song. All right. So last night, I watched a little bit of some of the games, and let's just say that the Toronto Maple Leafs, your friend's team, did not fare very well last night. And who is that guy that likes the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Oh my gosh, I don't even remember at this point because he's in high school now.
Oh, he's in high school now. Okay, well, shout out to him, even though he's in high school. So the Toronto Maple Leafs got skunked last night, I believe.
Yes.
And what was that score?
5-1.
Woo! 5-1.
Well, obviously they were playing the Bruins. So.
Well, the Bruins are coming back with a vengeance since they got taken out last year by the lonely Florida Panthers.
Yep.
So the Bruins scored 5 goals last night to 1 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So it's been a very interesting NHL season.
Yep.
Where this year now the Florida Panthers are actually above some of these teams.
They actually passed the Bruins in like the last week or two of the season to win the division.
Yeah, they did. And they got the higher seed now. So therefore the Bruins ended up taking the Toronto Maple Leafs. So
yes.
The other thing that I'm excited about, my Dallas Stars. They are doing really well this year.
The number 1 seed in the Western
Conference.
Yes,
number 1 seed. Unfortunately, in the first round, we are taking the people that took us out in the NHL Finals last year, and the current NHL champions, and the Stanley Cup is still with them, the Las Vegas Knights. So we will see what happens with that. So anyways, all right, man. So I'm going to turn it over to you, and then I'm going to let you go through some of the scores so far from the NHL season or NHL playoffs.
Well, there's only been 2 games.
Okay. All right. So what was the other game?
It was the Hurricanes and the Islanders. That one was not. That was a closer game with the Hurricanes winning 3-1.
All right. Well, the Carolina Hurricanes, who were doing pretty well last year, are back in the playoffs. They got taken out by what became the buzzsaw.
Yep.
Through the NHL playoffs last year, the Florida Panthers, who took out everybody on their way out, except they just couldn't do it against the
Golden
Las Vegas Golden Knights.
They actually swept the Hurricanes.
They did. They swept the Hurricanes. First of all, they went. They were 0-3. They were down 3 games. To the Bruins, and they pulled a New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox. So the Florida Panthers became the Boston Red Sox and came back and won 4 and put the Bruins out of misery.
Oh my God. If you watched our episode last year where there was a live reaction as it happened, you'll know I went a little crazy.
Yeah, and you couldn't watch us then because we were just doing Spotify.
Yes.
So if you listened to our episode last year.
I believe that was what? Episode 5? Episode 6?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
I don't remember. But anyway, speaking of, now that you can see us, hit that like and subscribe button and then that little bell on the side. So it lets you know. Yeah, that one over there. I don't know. Whatever.
We're going to do this one. We're going to do this one.
Let's go that way. All right. So that way, when we put out new content, it alerts you, and you can watch Bloodline Sports, the newest content that's out. So, So going back, the Florida Panthers became a buzzsaw. They went through the Bruins. They went through the Carolina Hurricanes. And then they ended up taking out, who was it? I can't remember who they took out.
It was someone they took out in between the Hurricanes and the Panthers.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was.
You don't think it was the Maple Leafs, do you?
Yeah, it was the Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
It was the Maple Leafs. That's right. They took out the Bruins, the Maple Leafs, and then they took out the Carolina Hurricanes.
And then they
in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then they lost.
They got squashed.
They got squashed by the Las Vegas Knights.
Yep.
But I am excited about the NHL playoffs, like I said, especially with my Dallas Stars. I'm excited, man. I hope that they go all the way this year.
Yep. I think they could. Honestly, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I genuinely believe that the Dallas Stars have what it takes to win their second Stanley Cup.
I hope so. I hope so, because it's been a long, long time.
Since they won it, at least.
Yep. So, speaking of the playoffs today,
who's
full slate, man. It's a whole day of NHL playoffs. Starting at 11:30, which is in about 6 minutes, the Florida Panthers are taking on Tampa Bay Lightning.
Give me the Florida Panthers.
You going to take the Florida Panthers on that one?
I think it's just past the Lightning's time. They had their back-to-back championship season. They had their third consecutive, all that a few years ago. I don't know. I just think it's finally their time to go bye-bye.
Okay. All right. And then right after that, at 2 o'clock, we have the New York Rangers taking on the Washington Capitals. The New York Rangers are back in the playoffs.
Oh, and let me tell you something. That race between, I think it was the Capitals, the Flyers, and the Penguins, that was such a close race to get the last playoff spot.
Yeah.
In the end, the Capitals, I think they ended up beating the Flyers to get that last playoff spot.
Well, let's see. So, let's look at this. Florida got the New York Rangers are the 1 seed. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They ended up with 114 points.
They actually ended up with the best record.
They did.
They had like 1 more point than the Stars.
Yep. So the Rangers and the Stars are the top seeds on both sides, the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. So, and then at 6 o'clock, what do they even try? The Winnipeg Jets.
Hey, don't count out the Jets this year, Dad. They're like second or third place this year.
Well, we'll see what happens, but they are taking on
the Avalanche.
The Avalanche. Hey, the Avalanche moved conferences?
Actually, yeah, they did after their whole pandemic season. Yeah, they switched conferences. I think. Wait, what?
No.
Or the Jets switched conferences.
The Jets switched conferences.
Yeah, it was after that whole shakeup thing. I guess.
Okay.
Since the Kraken literally came in the next year, they probably just figured out a way to realign the teams. But yeah, no, the Jets are in the Western Conference now, I believe.
Okay. All right. And then close it out at 9 o'clock today. The Vancouver Canucks are taking on the Nashville Predators. The Nashville Predators are back in the playoffs. Yep.
Wow. Like, I knew about the Canucks, but the Predators are back?
Yep. They're back. They are back, and that's today's NHL slate. Tomorrow we're going to have a full slate as well, but it'll be in the evening as my Dallas Stars take on the Golden Knights at 8:30. But first up on the board for tomorrow's games, the Bruins and the Maple Leafs in Game 2, 6 o'clock. And then right after that, the Hurricanes and the Islanders at 6:30. And then you close it off with the Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings.
Ooh, the Kings are back.
Yep, they are. So it is going to be a very interesting NHL playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
So let's run through it.
I'm excited.
Let's run through it. Let's do it. All right. So let's do our first round predictions. And let's start with the Eastern Conference Finals. Who are you thinking?
We're going all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals?
No, I mean in the Eastern Conference first round. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
So you got the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Islanders. Who do you got on that?
I got the Hurricanes.
Yeah, me too.
I've been believing in the Hurricanes last year, even when they were getting swept. I'm going to do it again this year.
All right. So I'm taking the Carolina Hurricanes as well. And then you have the Boston Bruins, who totally demolished the Maple Leafs in the first game, 5-1.
Yep.
So who are you taking on that one?
I think the Bruins, they learned from last year's mistakes. I think they're going to find a way to beat the Maple Leafs this year.
All right. So you're taking the Bruins. I am taking the Bruins as well. And then we have the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Florida Panthers. Like I said, it's the Tampa Bay's time to go away.
Well, All right. So I will stick with the Panthers myself just because of what they did last year. And then we close it off with the New York Rangers and the Washington Capitals.
Ooh.
It's an easy choice for me.
It is?
Yep. I'm going Rangers.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, probably give me the Rangers, but I feel like that series may be close.
Okay.
With how the Capitals, how they've been doing towards the end of the season.
Okay. So you take
their one star player. Oh God, what's his name? The Capitals star player. The one,
checking.
Yeah, the ones think he's looking try to get one more ring before he retires soon.
Yep.
So, yeah.
All right. So there you have it. The only one that we disagree on is the Rangers and the Capitals.
I'm still going with the Rangers.
Oh, you're going with the Rangers. Okay, so
Yeah.
we're all on the same page. All right. So let's go to the West Side, and let's go Jets, Avalanche. Who you got?
Give me the Winnipeg Jets.
All right. You're going to take the Jets, huh?
Yes, I think they can actually do it this year.
Okay.
I think they can get past the first round.
All right. I am going to stick with the Avalanche because they're not too far removed from winning the Stanley Cup. Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So I am going to take the Avalanche. And then you have the Vancouver Canucks versus the Predators.
This one, I actually am not sure. I'm planning to go with the Canucks just because they won their division, and I didn't even realize the Predators were in the playoffs. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll go with you on that one. I'll take the Canucks as well. And then you have the Dallas Stars versus Golden Knights.
Dallas Stars.
No discussion at all on that one.
No.
And then we close it out with the Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings.
Ooh. I'm probably going to go with the Oilers, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to go with the Oilers.
The Oilers, two teams who Wayne Gretzky played for. He started with the Oilers, and then he went to the LA Kings. So I will concur with you, and I will say that the Oilers will take the series in the first round. So there you have it. We have made our picks for the first round in the NHL playoffs. We will see what happens. We'll keep up with those games as they happen.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back and discuss those things. We have plans to put more content out more often. So we will come back and probably do 2 more shows throughout the week.
Yeah.
And keep these playoffs up to date. All right, my friend.
Well, that's the playoffs.
That's the playoffs. So let's stay in the NHL as well. You wanted to talk about this, so I'll give the floor to you.
Give me. So we go from a very high to the lowest of the lows.
Low.
Or at least not for the city, or at least not for the state of Utah.
Yep.
As the Arizona Coyotes are moving to Salt Lake City.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yep, they were recently purchased by I believe the same people that own the Jazz, the Utah Jazz in the NBA.
Uh-huh.
They have plans to move the team to Utah, so Utah will finally get an NHL team.
Yeah.
The Arizona Coyotes, their last game, they actually beat the Oilers 5-2.
Yeah.
And man, I watched the highlight of the end of the game. It was somber all throughout the stadium.
I can imagine that. But you know what? That's what happens. When you have a team, a professional sports team in your city, you have to support those teams no matter what.
Well,
if they're doing good, great, fantastic, go to the games. If they're doing bad, great, fantastic, go to the games. At least you have a professional sports team in your town that you can support.
Yep, that one that you can actually go to their games.
Exactly. But now you have nothing because you didn't support them. Now they're bailing.
Well, it wasn't really all the fans' fault, Dad. It was more ownership, management, and financial problems.
Right, but the financial problems come from people not going to the games. So that's the biggest factor. People don't go to the games. They don't buy tickets. You know what else happens when they don't go to the games? Concession stands don't get very good revenue. They don't buy food. They don't do anything. You know what else happens when your team is not doing good and the fans don't go to the game? They don't go to the merchandise store. They don't buy your merchandise. These 3 things are the ones that keep your franchise alive. It's the revenue from your tickets, from your season tickets, from concession stands, from merchandise sales, and then any other sponsorships that you can get through. And most of the sponsorships, the people that will sponsor your team, they will do it because you're doing well, but they will also pay attention to how many people you're bringing in to your stadium and to follow your team. So, but anyway, so they're moving to Utah.
Yep.
Salt Lake City. I wonder what their name is going to be.
They haven't decided yet. I think some potential ones. There's been some pretty dumb ones that I've seen reported by the NHL. I can't name one off the top of my head. I think one of them was called like Utah Hockey Club or something like that.
Wow,
but I think
that's
just for
horrible.
like temporary names, because the owner hasn't decided what yet to name him, so they'll give them like a temporary name for next season. But yeah.
What about? Well, no, I don't think it would work. No, I'm just gonna say it. No, I'm not gonna say it.
Okay,
I'm not gonna say it.
I don't know.
So, anyways, all right. The talk was last year, and we talked about this in one of our episodes when we were on Spotify.
Oh yes,
alone. Is that when the Arizona Coyotes were struggling last year, it looked like they were going to get moved. And then the mayor from Hartford, Connecticut, got involved. He wanted to get the NHL franchise back in Hartford. He wanted to bring the Whalers back.
Yep, but that didn't work out.
It didn't work out, but I still say the Whalers need to come back.
Yep.
The Whalers need to come back. The Whalers need to come back.
Okay.
So,
all right, the Whalers need to come back.
And I'm just an old school guy who likes, looking at the past sometimes and how things were. But it is what it is. They're moving to Utah, and they will no longer be the Coyotes of Arizona. Oh. So
not even 30 years.
Not even 30 years. Yep.
That's honestly sad.
It is. It's very sad. But you always hate to see teams move. But that's what happens when your fan base does not support you and you don't bring the revenue in and you're not relevant, and then you don't get TV contracts. That's the other one.
Yeah.
TV contracts, national exposure, all of those things matter into how you keep your franchise going.
Yeah.
So,
and
learn that, my boy, because you are talking about someday working in the front office of a sports franchise. So, get involved, get immersed in those things. This is what makes you successful, and it makes you keep your teams where you're at. So, all right.
Well, all I have to say for now is farewell, Arizona.
Farewell, Arizona. Adios. Goodbye.
Maybe you'll come back as an expansion team.
Au revoir.
With the Jets.
Yep. So,
the original Jets actually relocated to Arizona.
They did. That's what I'm saying. they wanted the Whalers back. The Whalers need to come back. That's all there is to it. So, all right, man. So that's the NHL talk, playoffs, and Arizona moving.
Yeah.
So let's go to our next thing,
is the other
playoffs going on, and I'm excited about it. Yes, the NBA playoffs on NBC. I'm not gonna do that. Mark Albert. So, yep. The NBA playoffs have kicked off. Last week we had the play-in tournaments, and you had the New Orleans Pelicans and the Lakers both moving back into the playoffs.
Did the Bulls not make it in?
The Bulls did not make it in, unfortunately. My Bulls hurt. I thought they really, really were going to get in there, but they did not. They got taken out, and so therefore they're out of the playoffs. They had the games in the play-in tournament. You had the Lakers. Let's see. The Lakers were taking on the New Orleans Pelicans, and they beat them in the first game, so they got the 7th seed. And then you had Sacramento and Golden State playing each other. Sacramento beat Golden State, and then that meant that New Orleans and Sacramento had to play one more game to determine who was going to be the 8th seed, who ended up being the New Orleans Pelicans. And then on the other side, you had the 76ers taking on the Miami Dolphins.
The Miami Dolphins?
I'm sorry, the Miami Heat.
No,
I'm sorry. The 76ers were taking on the Atlanta Hawks.
What happened to the 76ers?
Well, they won.
No, but how were they even in a playing position anyways?
I don't know. I guess they fell apart towards the end. I don't know. And then you had the Miami Heat taking on Chicago. And so
the Heat.
Let's see. Miami won, and they beat Chicago. And then Chicago had to play the Sixers, and the Sixers won. So Chicago and the Sixers are now in the playoffs. So
Chicago?
I'm sorry. Philadelphia 76ers and the Miami Heat are in the playoffs. So.
Well, there's been double the amount of NBA there has been NHL.
Yep.
4 so far.
Okay. Yep.
So I'm just going to go ahead and go through those. First game.
All right.
I believe it was the Cavaliers and the Magic. The Cavaliers won 97-83.
Yep.
Second game, Timberwolves and the Suns. Suns got a little destroyed in that game. Score was 120-95.
Yep.
And then the Knicks won a playoff game
They did.
against the 76ers, 111-104. And the Nuggets beat the Lakers 114-103. This last game is a rematch of Eastern Conference Finals last year. Eastern or Western? Western Conference Finals.
Western Conference Finals.
Yes.
Yeah, last night the
We're really doing a number to the Nuggets, but then Batman, Nikolai Jokic, and Robin, Jamal Murray took over, and they ended up winning that game. So, yep. And then today, we have on the slate, first up is going to be the Miami Heat taking on the Celtics.
Ooh. The Celtics, man. The Celtics, they did really good this year.
Yep.
They only lost 18 games.
Yes, they did. They only lost 18 games. So they are up first at 12 o'clock. So in a few minutes, they will take on the Celtics and will take on the Heat. And then at 2 o'clock, 2:30, the Clippers and your Mavs.
Ooh. Our Mavs.
I'm a Bulls fan.
You should be a Mavs fan,
I will support
too.
them because they're local, but I am a Bulls fan.
Yes,
So
the Mavs.
they will take on the Clippers at 2:30, and then you'll have the Pacers and the Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is probably not going to play because he got hurt again. So, and then you close it off tonight with the team that has been very surprising this year, the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Ooh.
They will take on New Orleans Pelicans.
Ooh.
So,
Man.
yep, it's going to be a fun night tonight. So,
Yep.
all right, man. So why don't we go ahead and do the same thing, and let's run through these
You know what?
playoffs.
I just got an idea.
Okay.
What if maybe towards the end of the playoffs for both the NHL and the NBA, what if we live stream some of the games?
Oh, we can talk about that. We'll see. It gets a little hard to live stream games all the time.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, obviously, like, not do it, like, right now in the very beginning, but, like, towards, like, the conference finals.
Yeah. Well, maybe when we get down to that point, we might be able to do that. All right. So let's run through it. Eastern Conference playoffs in the NBA. You have the Cavaliers and the Magic. Who are you taking in the first round?
Cavs.
The Cavs. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'll take the Cavs myself as well. And then you have the Knicks versus the 76ers.
Give me the Knicks.
The Knicks. All right. I think it's going to be...
Come on. The 76ers.
I'm going to... you know what? I'm going to go against you. I'll say the 76ers.
What the heck?
Yep.
Do you just not believe in the Knicks?
It's not that I don't believe in the Knicks, but I have a feeling that the 76ers will be pretty good. So, all right. And then on the other side of the NBA playoffs on the Eastern Conference side, you have the Celtics and the Heat.
Celtics, obviously.
Celtics. Yes, I concur.
Best team since I believe it was like the Warriors, I think, who only lost like 7 games or whatever it was.
Yep.
Yeah, no, the Celtics. I think they're making it minimum conference finals again this year.
Okay. And then you have Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Bucks versus the Pacers.
Give me the Bucks over the Pacers.
Really?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Like with other teams, I didn't even realize the Pacers were in the playoffs this year. So
yeah, and they still have Damian Lillard, so that could be a thing. And I don't know how long Giannis is out, but he may come back.
Maybe.
I'll take the Bucks myself. I will take the Bucks myself. So,
all right.
So let's move on to the Western Conference side. The other team that's been surprising this year, the Minnesota Timberwolves.
What the heck?
They're taking on the Suns. Who you're taking in that one?
I guess the Timberwolves. I don't know. Yeah, probably the Timberwolves.
Okay. I will do the same, and I will take the Minnesota Timberwolves. Lakers, Nuggets.
Right. Excuse me.
Excuse his yawn. Sorry about that. Lakers, Nuggets.
Lakers, Nuggets. Oh, Nuggets.
All right.
Oh yeah, Nuggets. Nuggets.
Yeah.
That's another team. I think it's gonna go far. Yeah.
Yep.
I think they started off by beating the Lakers.
Yep. So I am going to say I am taking in this series. I am going to take Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
So I will take the Nuggets. And then you have the Clippers and the Mavericks.
Oh. You know, the Mavericks, they're starting to get hot at the right time.
Yeah.
Doing the exact opposite of what they did last year.
Okay.
Give me the Mavericks. I think they're getting hot at just the right time.
Okay. I will take the Mavericks
I think
myself.
it was a month ago. They were in like 9th place.
Yes.
And 9th for 8th, and they've made it all the way up to 5th place.
Yep.
I think they beat the Clippers.
Okay. All right. So I will take the Mavericks as well just to support local. And then you have the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the New Orleans Pelicans.
The Thunder.
The Thunder. Absolutely, the Thunder. They have been lights out just like the Minnesota Timberwolves have been. So I concur with you on that one.
Yes.
So there you have it. That is the NBA playoff picks for us this year, as we will see what happens throughout the rest of the week. We will keep you updated as well, just like we are on the NHL playoffs.
Yes.
So that is going to be what our focus is going to be for the next couple of weeks or so, maybe 3 weeks, however long it takes to go through these playoffs.
Yep.
You also have the MLB going on right now. The Dodgers aren't doing so well. They're dropping games left and right, which is disappointing.
Well, that's what they did last year.
Yeah.
But they ended up fine in the end. So.
Yep. And then you have the MLB going on, and then you have the MLS, and you have all kinds of other things going on. Yeah. Liga MX is going on as well. Rayados lost again last night.
Oh, again? They lost again.
Yep, they lost 2-0 to León.
They're choking.
They are choking towards the end. But we will see what happens with them as we keep up with these sports as we go on.
Well, one more thing. Speaking of live streaming, this Thursday, I believe, April 25th, we will live stream the first round of the NFL draft.
We will.
So, stay tuned. Come watch with us. See how many picks we got right. See what shockers may end up happening. See who picks who. Just see what happens.
And bring your coffee, because it's going to be a long first round of just watching us sit and watching the show and commenting on what's going on the screen. So bring your coffee, bring your snack, like Tio told people in Dallas, get your popcorn ready. Get your popcorn ready, as we will be live streaming that on Thursday.
Oh, yes.
First round of the NFL draft. Like he said, we'll see how many of those picks we got right. I don't know. I think we got a few right.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But from what I've been seeing on some of these other shows, we don't coincide a lot with what they did. But you know what? That's them,
this
and
is
we're us. We are our own people. We are our own men. We make our own picks, and we don't rely on anything else, because we are Bloodline. Yes, we are.
Sports.
Bloodline Sports. Yes, we are. So, again, we hope you enjoyed our content today, as we talked a little bit of NBA playoffs, a little bit of NHL playoffs. Yep. So it's that time, my friend. Time to wrap it up. Yep. We had a good time.
Yep.
We enjoyed bringing it to you, and we hope you enjoyed it. And as always, this is Bloodline Sports.
It's all relative. Goodbye, everyone.